Did you know that in Italy there are over 200,000 coffee bars serving espresso, and the Italian government has even applied to UNESCO to recognize it as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity? But why does this tiny, potent cup of coffee hold such a massive place in global culture? The answer lies not just in the dark, rich liquid itself, but in the very word we use to order it. Is espresso a tribute to speed, a technical description of pressure, or something much more personal? Today, let's uncover the fascinating linguistic journey of the world's most famous caffeine shot.
I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things. Today, let's uncover the fascinating linguistic journey of the world's most famous caffeine shot.
At its core, espresso is not a type of bean or a specific roast, but a method of preparation that defies the ordinary. It is the result of a precise alchemy. Hot water forced through finely ground coffee at high pressure, usually around 9 bars. This intense process extracts the very soul of the bean, creating a concentrated liquid that is far more complex than a standard drip. The defining signature is the crema, the reddish-brown foam on top, which is a microemulsion of coffee oils and carbon dioxide. This layer acts as a fragrant seal, trapping the delicate aromas of chocolate, fruit, or toasted nuts within the cup until the very first sip. What makes espresso truly unique is its paradox of strength and elegance. While it contains less total caffeine than a large mug of filter coffee, its concentration of flavor compounds is significantly higher. It is a sensory experience designed to be enjoyed quickly, yet its aftertaste can linger for minutes. In the hands of a skilled barista, every variable, from the grind size to the water temperature, is a brushstroke in a masterpiece of balance. This is why espresso is often called the quick coffee, not because it is rushed, but because it captures a moment of peak intensity, delivered expressly for the person waiting at the counter. Now, let's dive into the big question. How is an espresso actually born? It's not just pouring water, it's a perfectly timed performance of physics. It all starts when the barista grinds the beans just right, fine enough to create the perfect resistance. Once the coffee is pressed into a solid puck inside the filter, the machine's magic takes over. Hot water, at a nearly perfect 90 to 96 degrees Celsius, is forced through at immense pressure. In those 30 quick seconds, the water acts like a master key, unlocking rich oils and hidden flavors that regular brewing simply can't reach. As the liquid begins to flow, it looks like a silky, golden stream often called mouse tails. This is the moment the espresso truly wakes up. Under intense pressure, natural CO2 inside the beans blends with coffee oils to create thousands of tiny bubbles. These bubbles slowly rise to form the crema, a velvety crown that seals the flavor inside. The moment it hits the warm ceramic cup, all the aromas suddenly burst out. Watching an espresso shot is like watching a balancing act. A second too fast and it's weak, a second too slow and it's bitter. But when it's just right, it's a beautiful explosion of flavor, capturing the very heart of the coffee bean in your hand. Yet, few know that the story of espresso's fascination began not in a coffee shop, but amidst the roar of the Industrial Revolution. In late 19th century Italy, time became a luxury commodity. People worked more intensely, and coffee was the fuel of that era. However, traditional brewing methods took far too much time for a worker during a brief break. This sparked a race among inventors: how to make coffee faster. In 1884, Angelo Moriondo of Turin was granted the patent for the first steam-driven coffee machine. But it was not until Luigi Bezzera and Desiderio Pavoni refined the design in the early 1900s that the form of espresso we know today began to emerge. They realized that by using steam pressure to force water through the coffee grounds, they could shorten the brewing time from several minutes to just a few seconds. However, the early espresso was bitter and lacked the creamy texture we love today. It was not until 1948 that Achille Gaggia invented the piston lever machine, which traded steam for manual pressure. This was the turning point. By exerting much higher pressure, about 9 bars, Gaggia discovered a miracle, the crema. This golden foam transformed espresso from a bitter, dark liquid into a rich, aromatic masterpiece. From the smoky bars of Milan to the bustling streets of Seattle, espresso has evolved from a simple, quick coffee into a global language of sophistication. After the perfection of the crema in 1948, espresso began its graceful departure from Italian borders to conquer the hearts of global travelers. In the 1950s and 60s, espresso bars became the epicenter of cool in London and New York, serving as sanctuaries for writers, artists, and the youth culture. It wasn't just about the caffeine, it was about the ritual. The great Ernest Hemingway was known to frequent Italian cafés, often enjoying a strong shot while crafting his masterpieces. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre and the writer Simone de Beauvoir turned Paris's coffee houses into intellectual hubs, where espresso fueled their existentialist debates. Even the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, was a dedicated fan, often seen with a tiny ceramic cup on film sets. For these visionaries, espresso wasn't just a drink, it was a ritual of focus and a spark for creativity. As Italian immigrants moved across the globe, they brought with them the heavy chrome machines and the secret of the perfect extraction. This culture eventually reached Seattle, where it laid the foundation for the modern coffee revolution. Espresso became the versatile core for the latte and cappuccino, making it accessible to millions. Today, whether you are in a bustling Tokyo station or a quiet cafe in London, you are sharing the same experience that once captivated the greatest minds of the 20th century. Espresso has become more than a drink. It is a global language of connection, a tiny bridge that links us to a century of history and a few legendary geniuses in every single sip. To drink an espresso is to engage in a moment of pure mindfulness. In Italy, it is often enjoyed standing at the bar, a brief but intense pause in the day. Before your first sip, it is a tradition to cleanse your palate with a small glass of sparkling water. Then, gently stir the crema to integrate the flavors. A truly great espresso offers a balance of sweetness, acidity, and bitterness, with a syrupy body that coats the tongue. It is not just a caffeine hit. It is a 30-milliliter symphony that demands your full attention, even if only for a minute. Beyond the sensory delight, this tiny cup is packed with surprising nutritional virtues. Because it is extracted under high pressure, espresso retains a high concentration of antioxidants, such as chlorogenic acid, which helps reduce inflammation and protects cells. Remarkably, a standard shot contains almost no calories, yet it can improve focus and boost physical performance by increasing adrenaline levels. It is a simple thing that offers a complex gift to both the mind and the body. As you finish your cup, remember that you aren't just drinking coffee. You are consuming a century of history, science, and health, all captured in one small, elegant porcelain vessel. However, like any powerful force of nature, espresso demands respect and moderation. For all its virtues, the intense concentration of caffeine can be a double-edged sword. For some, a single shot can lead to coffee jitters, a state of restlessness, rapid heartbeat, or even mild anxiety. Because espresso is unfiltered, it also contains small amounts of cafestol and kawel, natural oils that can slightly raise cholesterol levels if consumed in excessive quantities over time. It is a reminder that even the most beautiful things in life require a sense of balance. To truly honor the craft, we must also listen to our own bodies. So, how do we enjoy this liquid gold without worrying about the side effects? The secret lies in the following formula. Aim for no more than 3 to 4 shots a day, and try to avoid that final cup at least 6 hours before sleep to protect your natural rest. Listen to the story your heart tells after each sip. If you find yourself sensitive to its power, perhaps a macchiato to soften the blow or a smaller dose is the answer. Ultimately, espresso should be an invitation to clarity, not a source of stress. By drinking mindfully and staying hydrated, you ensure that every cup remains what it was always meant to be, a simple, healthy, and exquisite spark for your day. I want to share with you the 10-second rule to know if your espresso is truly good without needing years of training. First, look at the crema. A high-quality shot features a thick, hazelnut-colored foam with tiny dark streaks called tiger stripes. If the crema is too pale or disappears instantly, the coffee was likely under-extracted or stale. A perfect crema should be persistent enough to hold a dusting of sugar for a few heartbeats before it slowly sinks. This is the visual signature of a shot brewed with the right pressure and fresh beans. Next, lean in and let the aroma tell you the rest of the story. A great espresso should never just smell burnt. Instead, you should detect a complex bouquet. Perhaps the sweetness of caramel, the richness of dark chocolate, or even a hint of floral acidity. If the scent is flat or unpleasantly metallic, the machine or the technique was off. In these 10 seconds, by using your eyes and your nose, you transition from a casual drinker to a discerning judge. It is a simple ritual of appreciation, ensuring that when you finally take that first sip, your palate is ready for the excellence it deserves. In the end, espresso is more than just a chemical reaction or a historical milestone. It is a reminder that beauty often resides in the smallest of things. In our fast-paced world, where we are constantly rushing toward the next big goal, a 30-milliliter shot of coffee invites us to stop, even if only for a few seconds. It teaches us about precision, patience, and the importance of balance. Whether you are a professional barista or someone who simply enjoys the ritual of a morning cup, remember that every espresso tells a story of human ingenuity and a pursuit of excellence. It is a tiny, liquid masterpiece that connects us to the earth, to history, and to ourselves. I hope this journey through the essence of espresso has enriched your next coffee break.
Thank you for being a part of this story. I am Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things.
If you found inspiration in these stories, please give us a like and subscribe to support our community. Thank you for being a part of this story.